The Legal Services of New Jersey Poverty Research Institute has released a new study report, Unequal Access to Justice, Many Legal Needs, Too Little Legal Assistance, updating and expanding its 2002 report on the same subject. The new report reveals a continuing civil justice gap for lower-income people in New Jersey.
The results that we found were extremely disturbing. First, they show, very consistent with the 2002 study, that 1 out of every 3 individuals over the age of 18 who's living in poverty in New Jersey had at least one legal problem in over a 1-year period. Of that 1/3, only 1 out of 5 people actually received the help of a lawyer. 4 out of 5 had no lawyer at all. In the United States and in New Jersey, you cannot get a reasonable or fair shake in the legal process, in dealing with the legal system, in most cases, unless you have the assistance of attorneys.
State Supreme Court justices, past and present, offered their perspectives on the Legal Needs Report.
The study that Legal Services of New Jersey did that told the story of the legal needs of people in New Jersey who live in poverty and who do not have access to lawyers is a story of numbers. What it doesn't tell is the stories behind those needs. I think it's important for everyone to understand that we're talking in many of those cases about people's access to shelter, people's access to food, people's sometimes access to health care that can mean life and death.
It's perfectly obvious that litigants who have the benefit of competent representation can have their rights protected most ably. And that's the value of legal services and the warning that its report brings to light of the importance of having resources that allow for representation of those in need. Legal services, by serving as an advocate, by offering a voice to those litigants, helps promote both respect for the law and equal access, equal justice.
We see that as a result of those problems, there are people who, when you speak to many of them, will tell you that they feel that the justice system has let them down. Why? Because they go to the courts of our state where the injured historically has always flown, to use a metaphor, for justice, and they leave feeling, as Dr. King once said, that the Bank of Justice, as far as they are concerned, is bankrupt.
Unequal Access to Justice is based on a 2007 survey of nearly 3,000 randomly selected English and Spanish-speaking adults. The majority of the analysis in the report focuses on respondents with lower incomes, at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, which was $33,200 for a household of 3 at the time of the survey.
The latest census figures indicate that more than 2 million New Jersey residents have incomes below 200% of the federal poverty level. Based upon the findings of our study, more than 460,000 will have a civil legal problem each year, but just over 100,000 will get some form of legal assistance. The shortfall, the civil legal assistance and justice gap, is staggering. More than 360,000 individuals facing more than 736,000 legal problems are without the help of a lawyer.
What's equally striking, in addition to these raw numbers, is that of the legal problems that lower-income people experienced, according to the survey, 3 out of 5 of those legal problems were rated by the people as most serious. That's almost twice the rate of serious legal problems as the experienced by more moderate income, higher income people, and shows that the poor have a greater incidence of legal problems than those people with more means.
Organizations that serve lower income people are well aware of their increasing needs and the consequences of the shortage of legal help.
In my experience, at least, there's a growing need for this kind of representation, that more and more people in the state of New Jersey need legal representation because of issues related to their life, and particularly their life in poverty.
I can tell you from my own experience, sitting, working across the street from emergency services, that the lines go around the block on some days of people seeking assistance. And some of them are new people that have lost jobs and don't have the resources when they apply for welfare and they're denied. Why? And they don't understand the system and the process, so they're denied health care coverage. Why? They don't understand the process. And so they can turn to Legal Services of New Jersey.
The value of legal assistance to low-income people with civil legal problems is vividly illustrated by the stories of the clients served by New Jersey's legal services programs.
When I came to Legal Services, I had received a denial letter from Newark Housing Authority for low-income housing and Section 8 voucher. I came to them to get some assistance regarding the appeal process. The attorney for Legal Services was very diligent in her work in getting an overturned decision, and I'm in the process of waiting to actually receive the voucher.
I applied for temporary disability at the time, not realizing that this was going to take me down. I think I went to the state welfare office trying to get temporary Medicare so that I could take care of Medicare, Medicaid, or whatever you call it. Anyway, they suggested, well, why don't you try Legal Services? I took it, I went to them, I presented my problem. My question is there any way you can help me? You know, thank God that they really, it took years, but they really did their work.
Unequal Access to Justice concludes with an outline of necessary steps to close the justice gap: securing more funding for free legal services, simplifying legal procedures, and enhancing assistance to litigants representing themselves.
We need to think about what we're willing to give and how we're willing to act to see that legal services is funded so that, in turn, lawyers can represent the people in need.
The full text of Unequal Access to Justice can be found on the Legal Services of New Jersey website.